Consideration of approval to update and revise the County of Lake Internship Program, and it looks like we have Pam Samick here to present this.
Good morning, Board. My name is Pam Samick, HR Director, and I'm actually going to turn it over to Irandi Campbell, who's going to explain our updates to our intern program. Irandi Campbell is a senior HR analyst in our department.
Good morning. My name is Irandi Campbell, Human Resources Analyst, and I'm excited to share an update and revision to the County of Lakes Internship Program. So this program has been developed to support the needs of our departments and the professional development of students. When the idea was first presented and brought to staff discovered that there was already an internship program in place. However, it was extremely outdated and no longer aligned with our current goals or standards. And for departments, it was difficult for them to actually acquire an intern because the intern would have to meet the minimum qualifications of the role. And with the current program, it just was difficult because most interns don't have the skills yet. So the purpose of the internship program is to provide meaningful hands-on experience for students, build awareness for county government operations and service to the public, help students develop skills that will prepare them for future employment in public administration policy or related fields, create pathways for potential future employment within county government. So we believe that the internship program will create a lasting value for both the county and the students we serve. There is a lot of interested departments already, and if approved today, we're able to open recruitments. Thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate your feedback.
Any comments from the board? Supervisor Pyska, and then Supervisor Sabatier after, and then Vice Chair.
And I'm sorry I didn't ask you these questions earlier. I got a little sidetracked yesterday. So are we planning on, and first of all, thank you for bringing this, Vice Chair Rasmussen. This is a really exciting program. Are we looking at providing internships for this summer?
We're hoping,
Okay.
if approved today, yes, because it facilitates the departments to ask us to open a recruitment. So hopefully, if we start now, we might end up for like a summer internship at least.
Great, thank you.
You were next, Supervisor Sabatier, and then.
Thank you very much. I know that there's been a conversation happening over the past 6 months, and I know Ms. Samick has been involved with some of those conversations where Yuba County, Yolo County, Colusa County, and Lake County have been sitting down with leadership from Yuba Community College District. And that's not to say that that can't happen either with Mendocino Community College District as well not district, but college. Just to kind of get an understanding of what available programs could occur that maybe were in the past, or new programs, and internship is kind of where we ended up the conversation going. And so one of the things that I talked to Ms. Samick about yesterday was we don't have a structured internship program that was identified necessarily through those conversations. It's still kind of open, but feeling that adding something to this document to make it available. And I know that Ms. Samick submitted some comments to me of maybe calling it a special academic internship program for our community colleges, where it's part of their program that they're already a part of. And so I don't want to stop what's happening today, especially if there's the potential to get things moving and start the internship process of collecting applications for the summer. But I'm hoping that we can bring this back so that we can also identify some kind of special program internship that could be available through those other conversations that we were having. I don't want to speak for Ms. Samick, but I know when I called her after our last meeting, she was excited about the possibilities because we're not seeing that level of interaction with our community colleges. And we used to see that level of interaction in the past. And if you saw in the original revision or in the original iteration of this policy in the 2005, it was very specific about the work relationship between our local community colleges and the county, and not so much in this revised version. So hoping that either we can add it in there or pass it today with that coming back to us at a later time so that we can revise it yet again to make sure it's an available program.
Yes, I kind of purposely left it out due to budget constraints, but what we can do is to draft an addendum to this with the ability to look at this program based on the department's budget and interest, but go ahead and continue to work with the colleges and see what we can develop, and then bring it back for a more robust conversation when we know kind of what cost would be and, you know, what process we would put around this special academic internship program.
Go ahead, Vice Chair.
Thank you for updating this and bringing it back. It was an important program to me for the exact reasons that you stated, that we want to, you know, provide educational opportunities and hopefully get local youth interested in these government jobs that we have available here in Lake County. So I don't disagree with, you know, further updates regarding the specific program with the colleges at a later date, but I would like to move forward with this today.
Go ahead, Supervisor Owen.
I'd just like to thank Mr. Rapsison for bringing this forward. I think this is going to be phenomenal. Thank you.
All right. Supervisor Sabatier?
And just a brief follow-up, I think this whole thing is always based on whether we have the budget or not, and so having options in there, I think makes it always a possibility to pull that option out whenever we feel like it meets that option, because even the paid internship, that's only if there's something available for that. So looking forward to passing this today and looking forward to the next iteration as well.
All right, I'll open it up to the public for anyone. All right, come on up.
Hi, good morning, Lars Ewing, Public Services Director. I wanted to first say thank you to HR and Supervisor Rasmussen and your board for supporting this. I think it's important to note that, you know, at a grassroots level, to call a department, you know, at a grassroots level, I think this has been happening for years. You know, I had an interview last week with for a potential what we would call extra help, but a college student who grew up here, still has family here, and is attending college in Davis. We have another one next week for someone at UCLA. Same issue, grew up here. So it's putting I'll say formality and a structure to something that already exists, and that can't but help the county. I also really am encouraged at the notion of you know, not just the you know, the academic side, but the trade side. You know, the build program last week was here, and that presents an opportunity. So anything that we can do to bring in, I'll say local, you know, local people who will stay. Having worked here for, you know, longer than I care to admit now that I realize it, the long-term employees, it's really good to have them homegrown. When they have a connection here, we have a higher, my experience is that we have a higher likelihood of the success rate, let's just call it that way, for them staying. The longevity increases. So anyways, thank you very much. I'm encouraged by this and appreciate the support.
Is there anyone else from the public? All right, I'll close public input and bring it back. Supervisor Sabatier?
Yeah, just a quick question. I'm glad that Director Ewing spoke, because I don't see anywhere here that you need to reside in Lake County. And it says currently enrolled in a high school. Doesn't say a local high. So I'm wondering if that needs to be an additional thing to say you must reside in Lake County, or is that unnecessary?
Yes, come on up, Lars.
Sorry, I was crossing my legs, but I don't know that was, I don't have much to weigh in on here other than maybe just commenting at the department level. I think the intent would be to have someone local, but I'll leave it to your board to decide the policy level of that.
I'm waiting.
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we would want to use the language that they reside here because of the fact that maybe that currently it's not their legal address because their legal address is at a college out of county where they're going to school, for example, but they're local and they may intend to come back. It's just, so I'm not sure about how to word that, but I definitely believe that we should be making every effort to focus on local youth, whether it's somebody that's in high school or that's out of high school seeking education, whether it's a trade or college or whatever. I think, in my mind, that's the intent, that we'd want to focus on our local people.
Pam, and then Supervisor Owen.
We can also say that we have a preference to give it to locals. That would allow us to expand it just by, adding an extra sentence in there. Because there are going to be times when technically, college in Yuba City or Woodland is not local to Lake County, but yet we're looking at going into certain programs to encourage them for, like, say, water resources, engineering, those types of things that we have trouble recruiting for. So I think we can say we have a preference to give it to local residents, but leave it that way so we don't close ourselves off.
Would the word alumni help with that?
With the word,
Alumni, like graduated here?
oh, alumni.
I think the local preference wording is probably the best.
I'm in agreement with that. The
Way to handle
local
it.
preference, that way it's discretionary, but still kind of pushes.
Okay. Is there anything else to add? All right. I think
I'll
we're ready.
move to approve the revisions to the County of Lake Internship program.
Second.
Lloyd?
Mr. Chair, thank you, Mr. Chair. Will that be as amended with the proposed amendments
Reference.
discussed today?
With the, as amended with the proposed, we're talking about the language on the local preference at this point.
Second.
Supervisor Sabatier?
Just real quick, we kind of spoke about it, but what is the exact sentence that we're adding? Local residents preferred?
Local preference.
Preference.
Pam, go ahead.
Local residents preferred.
A preference to
Or,
local.
or a preference for local residents.
I think that would be suitable, I think,
Suitable for
as
you,
stated.
Mikey? So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 500.